Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. I think the next 1 or 2 days will be really key in determining Bitcoin's price action for the coming weeks. I already mentioned in the last few days that Bitcoin's next rally will really be key in giving us further clues about price action over the next coming weeks. And we've already received some clues yesterday. So I want to start on the daily time frame. Situation here hasn't changed at all. We're still talking about the same scenarios. Got a couple of bullish scenarios, or let's say one directly bullish, one slightly more bearish, and then of course the larger bearish scenarios we've been talking about for months as well. I just don't show them in every video, but they are on the chart and they have been mentioned, so it shouldn't be a surprise anyway to anybody. Let's talk again about the different scenarios. The most bullish one is in white. Okay, so that's still here a wave 4 low that could be in place and could have formed on the 5th of August, but we need 5 waves up to confirm that this is indeed the case. So that message hasn't changed at all. We need those 5 waves, and it would only be a diagonal pattern, so we can't trust it. So please be aware of that. We can really only expect further upside to 90 to 100k once we get these 5 waves completed, and then see the subsequent 3-wave pullback in circle 2. That hasn't changed, but micro price action on the smaller time frames have made this scenario slightly less likely. So I take the position that it needs to prove itself again. It needs to prove itself anyway because it's a diagonal pattern, and as I mentioned, we need those 5 waves for confirmation. But we have seen developments on the smaller time frames that make this scenario slightly less likely, which is why I want to put some more focus on the yellow count here at least. In the yellow scenario, which you also know, we talked about a larger wave for, absolutely still possible and highly probable as long as we don't get 5 waves up as per the white count. In the yellow scenario, we're dealing with a WXY structure. From the March high and the Y wave is an ABC, and the B wave might have topped already. In this case, we are now in a bearish setup, and we could move down further. The situation hasn't really changed about these scenarios in recent weeks. It's just that we now have another bearish setup available on the smaller time frame, which we didn't have in the last couple of weeks. So you might remember that I already talked about this yellow scenario maybe here, but we didn't really have a bearish micro setup. Now we actually have a proper 5-wave move down and a corrective rally, which definitely makes me watch this more closely. That scenario here, that bearish setup could easily be invalidated. That's why I've been highlighting over the last few weeks that micro price action here is very, very fragile and can easily change from one day to another. So that means the signals we get from the market within this price range, while the market is trying to figure out what's going on, can easily change. But once I see a bearish setup, I have to point it out, and we can take a look at that on the smaller time frame. And this could take us down into the region around 43 to 49k. If we arrive here and then see a first 5-wave move up, that could be a really good signal to get into the market for more long positions, for example. But at the moment the risk is high because this yellow count could take us into the region between 43 to 49k unless the bulls finally form these 5 waves, and there's currently no sign they plan to do that. Also below 43k we are talking about more bearish scenarios. They also shouldn't be a surprise. Did see a couple of messages today that I never talk about these, but of course they are on the chart. Don't forget that as a member, as a silver and gold member, you get access to these charts, and they are labeled, they are updated, and the scenarios do matter. Also in our member live stream, only I think it was, can't remember the date, it was early in August. Early in August we talked about what would happen if Bitcoin breaks below the 5th of August low, and these scenarios have been communicated. So they shouldn't be a surprise to anyone, maybe to some who only watch the videos occasionally. Of course, I don't talk about them every single day because they are too far away at the moment, but they are there, and that's why I track the support levels, right? So if we break below 43k and already with a break below the 5th of August low, the purple count here becomes more likely. And the purple count indicates that the bear market is back or is there. You know, it's never really been away. You know, we've always been in the bear market. Okay, not always, but it just means that on the in November 22, the bear market never finished. So this would be 3 waves down in wave A, 3 waves up in wave B, and we could be moving down now in wave C. This chart has, or this structure has problems because it's not impulsive on the way down. Could always turn into a diagonal, or we might form this large triangle I talked about before, that this wave 4 that possibly bottomed in November 22 is actually just a triangle. And in that case, the corrective pullback up here can be explained because the C wave of the triangle is a corrective move. So that's why it could be corrective. So just be prepared for that, okay? I mean, how you prepare for that is obviously an individual decision. It just means assessing your portfolio and you know, making sure that you have a plan, right? I mean, the analysis is only really a part of it, and how anybody reacts to these scenarios depends on everybody's individual situation. But I wanted to call these out again, just to get them into everybody's focus. They haven't really changed for many months, right? The only thing is that obviously probabilities can be quite dynamic, and at the moment we are at a point where we are in the middle of a range, and therefore smallest changes in the microstructure can have an impact on probabilities directly. Okay, we're at the key point. We've just rallied in 3 waves only, and we could easily break down from here, or if the market gives us a signal to form the 5 waves up, well, then we follow it. It's not invalidated or anything. But going to the smaller time frame, we've seen from this is the 30-minute chart, from the Sunday, the 25th of August high, a 5-wave move down. We've seen a rally that we were watching for, but only in 3 waves. So 5 waves down, coupled by 3 waves up, not a bullish signal. In addition to that, we've seen another 5-wave move down yesterday. So I have to point out this bearish setup as a 1-2-1-2 scenario with resistance between 60k and 60.7k. Any break above 60.7k, and I'm going to watch for a larger wave 2 in the yellow count. Why do I give the bears preference here at the moment? Well, because we only have 3 waves up. Yeah, 3 waves up. Had this been a 5-wave move up, it could be more clearly bullish. So the white count isn't invalidated, which is the bullish one, but we would need a break above both resistance areas, ideally in an impulsive fashion, to indicate that the bulls intend to take back control and to get an understanding that the bears have lost control, or they've lost the lead. Okay, bears sometimes lose control. No, what I wanted to say is if the bears can't act on this bearish setup, well, that would be a big failure of the bears, and again put the bulls back into the driver's seat. I hope that's clear. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.